some consistency. He's come up in the past and given us good games, and then responded down the road one or two later with some average ones. And we've stressed that to him as an organization, not only here at the National League level, but in the American League level. He can give you some real good nights, and then he's got to respond and maintain that. So that's what we'll be looking for.
I think there's confidence more physical.
Kevin.
You think it's confidence with him or what?
I think it probably is a little bit of that, but usually if you have a real good night, you come back and you feel good, and you try and grow on it. So I think it's immaturity a little bit. It's adjusting, and some guys, it happens quicker for them than others. And Griffin might end up being a tremendous National Hockey League defenseman. It just may take him a little longer. And everybody has their ripening stage, if you will. And it'll take, we'll see what he can do now.
Would Brandon Davidson be a good example of people maybe wanting to rush the development of a Griffin Reinhart to recognize that it might take a lot longer than some people think, regardless of where you were drafted?
Absolutely. It's a good case study in allowing players to evolve and to grow and to become better players at the American League level and slowly take those steps. We had Mirko Mueller in San Jose, and he's going to be a tremendous player too, but he probably needed a little bit more time than we were giving him last year, and he's getting it now. So, and he was a first top 10 pick or top 20 pick, I think. So everybody has their own, again, their ripening stage, the length to being prime.
You mentioned when the Oilers got blown out by the Islanders, you kind of just needed to learn from it, but kind of forget it. But that was Reinhardt's last game. And he had a tough afternoon, as did.
Well, he did, but his partner wasn't very good, and so that's 18 others were red rotten. The coaching staff was terrible, so everybody that was involved in that game was red rotten. So we can't pin it just on Griffin, but that was his last game. We made some changes after that, but let's let him play tonight. We're running out of defensemen in the organization, so. The development model that we're talking about doesn't exist because we need bodies. It's just the way it is.
You play Griffin on the left side, right side?
We're going to play Griffin on the left and try Party on the right, but again, you can, jot your pairs down right now, but put them in pencil. And what sides? Yeah, Party has played right before. Yeah.
Todd, with Cam playing the way he is, solidifying things back there so well, I mean, does the team play different in front of a goaltender who just seems to be locking it down the way he is? Have you noticed anything tangible?
Well, we feel better with him in the nets. You're capable of overcoming mistakes, and we make them. But you're capable of overcoming them, and he's the last line of defense. He's been tremendous for us. So he gets us out of a lot of crap. And in turn, I think that motivates and drives the players more to try and do it right and have success the other way. So it's a good mixture. We've given up a lot, a lot of shots on goal lately. A lot of them have been on the power play. We've got to stay out of the box. This team tonight will kill us if we continually march there. But our best penalty killer has been Talbs over the last little bit.
The numbers might suggest that defensively things are improving, just goals against and that. But with Cam playing the way he is, what's your assessment of where the D is at, and what level of improvement has there been in the last?
Well, that's kind of a two-pronged question because the D are the D, but defensive play is the group. Defensively, I think we're more aware of things we need to do in our zone, and it's finishing the plays. Understanding is one thing, accomplishing is another, and I think we have a good understanding of what we want to do. We need a little polish. We need to get better in that area, but overall, we've cut it down immensely from where it was last year at this time, and that's one of our goals from now to the end of the year is to keep that as tight as possible. The back end, when you just want to talk about the 6D, that's going to be an experiment now. It's different and a lot of new. It'll be new for the coaching staff too to try and find the pairs that are going to be successful, and guys are getting some power play time when they normally wouldn't, and maybe some penalty kill time when they normally wouldn't, but we may as well find out.
How about the medical report on Davidson next year?
Yeah, he's long term. I don't have a medical report. We probably do. I don't have it, but when I'm told long-term, it really doesn't matter until somebody starts telling me he's gonna be better, but, you know, we're talking long-term.
Todd, what do you need to see on your power play for it to start? I think it's 1 for 22 in the last little while.
Yeah, well, we'd like to see some goals. That would solve the problem. The numbers would go up immensely. And we had some good looks in Winnipeg. We missed the net on 8 of 9 shots. So I think we're trying to be a little fine, a little cute. A lot of teams are scoring off the spray, off the pads, off a block shot. I think we're trying to score in that initial shot. So let's muck it up a little bit more and get some of the ugly stuff going. The second unit's in flux because it's, well, actually the first unit is too, but the second unit is really in flux because we've got so many new bodies in there. We've been trying to work on our power play, even in pregame skates, because of the lack of practice time. It needs time. That's what it really needs.
You guys got bigger in a short amount of time, adding some big bodies with this. Well, how does that resonate throughout the entire team now? Does it make even the smaller guys bigger from the bigger, but you know, to have those big bodies around?
I think that's fair. That can be said. Those bigger bodies have a tendency to hold on to pucks longer and wear other teams down. Our smaller bodies are quicker, just like every other team in the league. They're quick, they dart, they make plays, they finish. The combination of both is real good. And I've been asked this question a lot since the trade deadline. Anaheim, San Jose, LA, big, strong, heavy teams, proven that it takes that to win. But Chicago has, you know, a different model, and they've been as successful or more. So it's what works for your group, your team, your identity. And small guys can play in today's game, so can big men.
Why do you think Korpikoski should be playing with David and
Well, the other day, I think I answered that question because I trusted. No, we'll start tonight and we'll see where it goes.
they need some defensive responsibility?
In the first, from about minute 15 through minute 35 in Winnipeg, they did.
Daniel with German TV. We're doing a profile on Leon.
Yeah.
2 questions, if
Sure.
I may. His father, who has been a very successful ice hockey player in Germany as well, he said that no matter what success he has, it's very important that he remains on the ground and stays
Yes.
humble. Has he?
Oh yeah, Leon's been very good that way. Leon's a real pleasant young man. Like, he comes to the rink with a smile on his face. He wants to get better. You know, sometimes he's a little hard on himself. He has to forgive himself for mistakes because we all make them. But he's very grounded. He's humble. He understands where he's come from, where he's going, and he's you know, he's a great young man. There's no other way to put it.
On what field, like as a player, does he have to improve, and where can it lead to? Where do you see him in maybe 5 years?
Well, as a 20-year-old, you've got a lot of work to do in all areas. You can't just single one out, but his ability to move that big body around, and he's come a long way from where he was last year. I think he's experiencing an 82-game schedule as a go-to centerman, and it takes some time to adjust to that mentally and physically, so he'll get that with experience. I'd like to see him shoot the puck a little bit more. It reminds me of an opponent that we're going to play tonight, and you know, with his vision, his ability to protect pucks and make plays. So he's a very good one for us, and he'll have a bright future. He went to the doctor yesterday. We got some good news. Now it's a matter of taking the battle level up. Won't play tonight. Won't play in Minneapolis, and then we'll go day by day.
Can you talk about Joe Thornton? And you've been on the right side of a lot of his hot streaks. Now you're on the other side. How do you, I don't know if you stop him, but how do you prevent him from that?
Well, he's what, 30, how old is Jumbo now? 36. So for the last 18 years, teams have been trying to figure that out. So I don't think we're going to solve it tonight. We're going to take a kick at it, but he's a tremendous player. And I think the depth on their team this year has allowed him to stay fresh. And you see that now. He's been able to carry his streak through. Always been a workhorse, well conditioned, passionate passionate about the game, as passionate as I've been around. I've been around a lot of good guys, so he drives that team. He makes great plays. It's a good role model for Leon in our situation to take a look at, because he's at game, Jumbo's at game 68, 69, and his engine's still really going. But he does a lot of things away from the rink to make sure that engine can run, and people around him help, and he's accepting of that, so he's a hell of a player.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.